Hey everyone, thanks for checking out today's 5 minutes of hope, our video daily devotion. I am Pastor Dave from St. John in Woodbury, Minnesota, and I pray that this devotion, this video finds you well on this Thursday, April 23rd. Up here in Minnesota, the weather is gorgeous. It is sunny again, definitely spring has hit us. In fact, I'm wearing the t-shirt today. Actually, a very specific t-shirt, Trampled by Turtles t-shirt. Just got from a wonderful family. They had an extra one, asked me if I wanted one. I said, absolutely. So got to represent the Duluth, Minnesota band here. And so, again, I pray that wherever you are, the weather is good. And that above all, I pray that these videos are a blessing to you. And I pray that your life, even in the midst of everything that's going on, that you are filled with hope, with peace, with joy, because you are filled with the good news of Jesus Christ. And so today, again, I'm going to share another awesome joke. I think it's awesome. As well as a couple of thoughts on how we can have non-anxious hearts during these tumultuous times. So if you didn't check out yesterday's video, I think you should go back and watch that because the joke there was fantastic. I think today's joke is good, but you'll have to be the judge. So there was a pastor, and he gets up into the pulpit and he makes an announcement. He says, all right, today I have 3 sermons. The first costs $100 and that lasts 5 minutes. The second costs $50 and that one will go for 15 minutes. And the third one is $10, but that one lasts an hour. So right now we're going to pause, take up the offering, and see which sermon we get today. So you may have laughed at that, or you may have groaned at that, or maybe a little of both, or maybe you're saying, I'm going to hold on to that joke, and I'm going to show up, and the next time I see Pastor Dave, when we actually get back to in-person worship, I'm going to hand him a $100 bill just to see what'll happen. So that would be funny. So anyway, hopefully that was a little levity for your day in the midst of everything. And so today, like I said, our thoughts are on how we can have non-anxious hearts in every situation, even in the midst of a pandemic. And Jesus actually talks about this. And so I want to share with you his words, very famous words from Matthew chapter 6. This is the Sermon on the Mount. He says, therefore I tell you, do not be anxious about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, nor about your body, what you will put on. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing? And so Jesus goes on in this section to talk about how God provides for us. He says, you know what, look at the birds, look at the flowers, look how God provides for them. And if God takes care of them in every situation, how much more will he take care of you? How much more important are we as his children? And so when we look at our lives, we can say, you know what, God is always taking care of me. I mean, that's Jesus' promise right here, is that he doesn't say, you know, don't be anxious unless there's, a pandemic going on, or unless there's really bad things going on. Then you can be anxious, then you can worry. What he's saying is that there's no need. You don't have to be filled with worry or anxiety or stress because of what's going on, because your God loves you, and your God is always going to take care of you and provide for you, even, I would say, especially in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of lockdown orders, in the midst of uncertainty. And I think this is so important for us right now because we've talked about this before. Everything we hear, literally everything we hear on the news, on the internet, on the radio is telling us, here's everything that you should be afraid of. Here's all the reasons why you should be filled with worry, anxiety, and stress. Here's all the reasons that you should have no hope. But Jesus comes to us and says, you know what? You should always have hope because you have me, and you don't have to worry about any of those things. You don't have to be anxious about anything because God will always provide for you. He will always take care of you in his way, which is always for your good. And there's an author and a priest, I've quoted him a lot, but his name is Henry Nouwen, and he picks up on this idea of having non-anxious hearts, but also the idea of the impact that that has on the people around us, especially during the darkest of times. He writes, when that vision, again, our vision of a compassionate God, remains clear and sharp, it will be possible to move into the midst of a tumultuous world with a heart at rest. It is this restful heart that will attract those who are groping to find their way through life. When we have found our rest in God, we can do nothing other than minister. God's rest will be visible wherever we go and to whomever we meet. And so I guess that's my prayer for you, especially on this day, is that you would see and that you would know that we have no reason to be anxious or to be filled with worry because we belong to Christ. And I would encourage you that as you live this non-anxious life, this life trusting in God in the midst of everything, that you would allow that presence of God's peace to go forth from you, to be a blessing of peace, of stress-free, non-anxious life to the people around you, that they too may be blessed with the good news and the peaceful living that comes with Jesus Christ.